Okay guys, this video will be the first part of advanced mates because they are a little bit more complicated. So I'm gonna start here with another assembly. As you can see, I have multiple parts here, and I just created a part called base, which is basically a table, and it will be the base of my assembly. So remember, the base or the first part that you insert into the assembly will not move, so it will remain like this always. So in order to make some mates, we need to insert another component, and first I'm going to check the mates to make sure what am I going to do. Here, the part of advanced mates, you have to scroll down, for example, and you can find it here, but I'm just going to click on here to minimize that and open advanced mates by clicking on it. Okay, first advanced mate is profile center. Profile center, as its name says, will center two profiles. So we're gonna start with that one. It's pretty simple, actually. Sorry. I'm gonna insert a component, and I'm gonna insert a cube, and I'm gonna put the cube away. The cube is there, and center, what? Standard mates, nope, advanced mates. And profile center will center two surfaces. So I'm gonna select this surface, and then I'm gonna select this surface. And by default, the cube will always be in the middle. It can, as you can see here, the selected entity is fully defined and it cannot be moved. It will center the things. That's pretty much it. If you take a look to this, you can, for example, flip dimension, and exactly here you can change the orientation. It's the only thing you can do. You can basically rotate the entity, or you can change this value. For example, I have it here, and if you click on flip dimension, it will move to the other way, but it will basically lock the component based on a distance and an orientation. It will lock the component exactly in the middle. So let's say that that's what I want. So that is the first advanced mate. The second one is symmetric. Symmetric, I'm gonna do something else. I'm going to insert two components. Yes, I don't want to make some mates. I'm gonna insert two components, and in this case I'm going to insert let's say another two cubes. So I'm gonna insert one here, and I'm gonna insert another here. Symmetric will basically make two entities move the same way, symmetrically. How does this work? When you go to mate, automatically you get here the history tree. This tree, when you click on the arrow, will show you everything you have in the assembly. We're gonna use it. We're gonna select not standard mates. In advanced mates, we're gonna select symmetric. And the things that it's asking is, the first thing is a symmetric plane. So you have to find a plane that will help you to make things symmetric. So I'm gonna select the plane that we have for the base. Let's say the front plane. I already selected this plane, so I can take out this. And now, based on that plane, I'm gonna put two things symmetric. So I'm gonna select this one and also select this one. And as you can see, that one moved. So what does it mean? Every time I move something, move some of these two, they will move symmetrically, like this. If I move this one, the other one will move at the same distance of the plane. If you see, the plane is not in the middle of the part, but that's something we can change by editing the part. But it works like this. Symmetrically, the distance in the same axis that we are working will be the same. So let's leave these two cubes like here. Let's continue. Insert components, but I didn't check the mate, sorry. So next mate will be width. Okay. Width. I'm gonna insert components, and I'm gonna insert this box. The box will be here. It is really away. Let's move the box a little bit closer. The box will be there. So now, what I need to do is to insert another cube or insert another thing with flat surfaces, such as a cylinder. I'm gonna leave the cylinder here. So, this mate will allow me to put something in the middle of something else. That's why I have this case, the box, and I'm gonna put this in the middle of this, but it requires two flat surfaces. So because of that, I'm gonna click on here. Well, I'm gonna exit here. I'm gonna rotate this component, leave it like here, let's say. And now I'm gonna put this in the middle of this. How does it work? I'm gonna click on mate. First thing I need to do is to make this parallel. This surface will be parallel with this other surface, for example. And now it is parallel, but I'm not controlling where it is. So what can I do about it? I'm gonna go to Advanced Mates. I'm gonna select white, and it requires two selection of each of the parts, on each of the parts. So I'm gonna select this and this. And what do I want to put inside? This and this. And by default, it will be in the middle. Well, since I didn't specify in this direction, that's what is going to happen. It is in the middle now, as you can see. It will be always in the middle, but I'm not specifying the physics for this, so that's why it happens. But it's just like you saw in the previous video for standard mates. It's just to specify the other mates that you need, so it won't move, and that's it. Okay, next one is path mate. Okay, making a path is pretty easy. That's the reason why this table has this drawing there. So I'm gonna insert a new component, and in this case I'm gonna select, I don't know, the ring. So I'm gonna put it here. Okay, what do you need for this? Well, for this one, you need to go to mate again, Advanced Mates. And when you select path mate, it's going to ask you for what do you want to path, well, what component you need to follow the path, and what will be the path. So here in the ring, I'm gonna be near to it, you need to select a dot, and the most of the times it's not easy to find a dot for the system, for the program. So I'm gonna open here this tree, and since I know that is a ring, and I know that the ring was built based on the origin, once I click here on the origin, it's going to appear here. If it appears there, it's because it's already selected. So when I click on here and it's selected there, I can make sure that this dot will be following the path that I'm going to select. So on path selection, as you can see, if I step up here, it only shows me one of the lines, but I need to select all of them. Since that is the case, I'm gonna go to Selection Manager, and here where it says Select Closed Loop, I'm gonna zoom to fit, select Closed Loop. This is a closed loop because it's a closed shape, so I'm gonna click on it, and if I click here on Finish, by default it's gonna be there. So now this ring will follow that path, but I didn't specify the angle or anything else. Because of that, that's happening. But as you can see, it will be always in the path. Always, it will follow the same path. That's the way it works with the path. If you want to specify that a little bit more, you simply go to Standard Mates and you make coincident this surface with this surface. Sorry. This surface and this surface. And by default, I have to flip it. And by default, you can flip the alignments or whatever by selecting these options. And by default, when you click on the tick, now it's not going to rotate. Now it only follows the path. And that's it. These four are the first four advanced mates that I wanted to show you. Practice on them. All the parameters are on the left. And if you have any questions, please check the video.